Hello and welcome to the Mighty Meeple. I'm your host, Eric Schwartz. In today's video, we're going to be reviewing a prototype of the 2 to 5 player game, I Am the Greatest. This is a card game designed by Chris Cottrell, and if they're able to raise the necessary funding, will be published by Digital Eden Entertainment. This game will launch on Kickstarter February 15th and will run through March 16th. And if you're interested in backing it, I'll leave a link that you can follow down in the description below. But for now, I'm going to continue on with my review. To start off with, we're going to go to the table and get a quick summary of how to play, and then look at the components. And then we'll finish off with what I thought of the game. If you want to skip ahead to a specific part of the video, check down in the description and I'll leave a timestamp that you can follow. But without further ado, let's go to the table and check this game out. Alright, y'all, before I start off and telling you about this game, I do need to make one statement that the designer has asked me to share with y'all. The images that you're going to see on these cards, he does not own the rights to these images, okay? These are basically for demonstration purposes only, to give these cards a little more polished look as we are learning the mechanics of the game. So these images are not going to go into the actual game that's being produced, okay? He's raising money to pay artists to make his own original art for the game. So just wanted to make sure that you all understood that. So you're going to see a lot of images in here that, these are not going to be used for the final product. So with that said, let's learn a little bit about this game that we're going to be reviewing here. So you have 4 types of cards in this game. You know, you have a hero card, which you can see here is going to have a green border, and it's always going to have positive points. And there's always going to be text down here of, you know, something that you've done that's heroic and gives you, credentials as a hero. In this case, you founded a super team. All right, so you have hero cards. You have villain cards, okay? There's going to be negative points. It's going to have a purple border, you know, and something that you've done to another player to kind of knock them down a peg or two. You have reaction cards, okay? They're going to have this yellow border, and you're going to be reacting to certain cards that other players play. Some of them are going to have this shield, which means that you can stop a hero card being played. You can negate the effects of that. Some of them are going to have a bomb, meaning that you can stop a villain card. Some of these will have both, and so they're kind of a wild reaction card. So that's another one we have here. And then finally, we have world cards, which are have a orange border, have this globe up here at the top, and this is played out in the center and is going to affect, give an effect in the game that everybody has to follow. So like in this case, it's a depression is brought about in the city, and players can only draw up to 4 cards at the end of the turn, whereas normally they would be able to draw 5, okay? And so, well, how do you use this? Well, at the beginning of the game, each player is going to be dealt 5 cards. And so let's say 5 here, 5 here. Let's say, you know, they have 5 here, and I got a hand of 5 right here. And so when your turn comes, you can choose to play 2 cards, okay? And they can be either a hero card, they can be a villain card, or it can be a world card. Okay, so if hero card, you're going to play it in front of yourself because you want to give yourself points, okay? And so, you know, I'm making myself seem like a good hero. Well, you also want to maybe knock down your opponent's peg or two, so you're going to take a villain card and you're going to choose another player and say, okay, well, I'm going to do some collateral damage in your area, the city. And so they're going to put that on the table in front of them. All right, and at that point, your turn is over, and so you're going to take, from the draw deck, you're going to take 2 cards in order to replenish your hand back up to 5. Now, what about the world card, though? Well, maybe say you didn't want to play this villain card. Instead, you wanted to play the world card. So you're going to take that world card, and you're going to put it in the center of the table, and from that point forward, that world card is going to affect all players. So in this case, you know, you draw up to 4 cards at the end of your turn instead of having 5. All right, and this world card will be in effect until another world card is played, at which point that's discarded, and then the new world card is in effect. Now, so that's what you can do on your turn, but there's also something that you can do on somebody else's turn, and that is playing a reaction card. All right, so let's say somebody decided that they wanted to take a villain card and play it against you, okay? Oh, you got a weakness is exposed, -2 points. Well, as they're playing that, I got a reaction card in my hand, which negates a villain card. So I'm going to say, nope, that's not the case. My weakness is not exposed, and those are put in the discard pile. But one thing that happens every single time you play a reaction card, something that happens is the turn order gets reversed. And so where the turn order was going clockwise, it's now going counterclockwise. And so you got to play a little bit of strategy in that, because you know, well, maybe this person right here played that villain card against me, and it was going to be my turn next. But if I play that reaction card, now I got to wait for my turn to come back all the way around this way. All right, so a little bit of strategy involved in that. And that is essentially the game. You're going to be doing that until you run out of cards of your draw deck. And then once that's done, you keep on going until a player does not have any cards in his hand that he can play on his turn. And then you're just going to take all the cards and add them up. You're going to add up all your hero cards. So in this case, I have, 5 points of hero cards, but I also have -3 points in villain cards. So my score is 2 at the end of the game. And everybody's going to have a pretty low score like that, because everybody's going to be playing villain cards against their hero cards, and playing those reaction cards and discarding them. And it's a very low scoring game, very quick game. And well, that's how you play. All right, guys, so next I want to show you just a little bit about the components. there's not going to be much to show you, because again, this is a prototype, but I can show you a little bit of the design that they've been developing for these cards. Now, as you can see, each of these different cards have different borders based upon the type of card it is. Let me see, here's a world card. So you have hero cards which have a green border, okay? And it also has the shield up here in the corner, and it's always going to be positive points. Okay, and on the bottom you're always going to have some sort of kind of a scenario of what you're doing when you play this card. So you're getting a friend on the police force, okay? In this case, the villain card has a purple border, a little bomb up here, -, points. I really like this design that they've developed, because even if you can't read, you can still kind of get an idea of what the cards do based upon the colors and based upon the shapes. And that's another thing with the shapes. If you have a little color blindness issue, these shapes, you can still operate based upon the shapes that's up here in the corner. All right, so very, very nice card design in my opinion. Now, some of these images here, I do want to say, I said at the beginning that they don't own the rights to the images used on these cards. These images here are concept art that they have been developing for this game. So these are their images and will be developed more to be a part of this game. So this is original art, whereas everything else, just these 4 cards, and this will give you an idea of kind of where they are going. This is kind of the more polished look. This is kind of a sketch of what they may be going for. But this is basically what you're kind of going to see with the cards that you get. Guys, let me tell you what, I really like this game. It's simple to learn and easy to teach, especially with the layout, the design they have for the cards. It's very intuitive and easy to understand. I had gamers as young as 6 years old who can't even read yet, who understood how to play the cards and could play the game just based upon the card design alone. I thought that was a great aspect that they designed into it. This is a good game to bring to the table when you have friends or family over who are not gamers, but you want something fun to do, because it's light, it's silly, it's fun. You know, it's a blast to take those villain cards and attack your friends with them. Of course, you can't spend the whole game doing that, because you got to build up your own base and build up your own points by making yourself look like a hero. And that balance of playing the villain cards and playing the hero cards, I think it makes the game solid, and it gives enough strategy to even entertain a gamer such as myself. Guys, this is a fun game. Now, one gripe I do have about it, I do think that there are too many reaction cards in the deck. There are a few games that I played where people would be waiting a long time for their turn to come around, just because reaction card after reaction card after reaction card was being played. And of course, when you play a reaction card, it reverses the turn order. So the turn order was just going back and forth, and it would never come around to a certain player. And they're just sitting there, just a little bored. So I think that is one little downside about the game. But you might be able to negate that just by taking some of the reaction cards out of the deck if you feel like that there's too many as well. But otherwise, I love this game. And I played at all the player levels, 2-player, 3-player, 4, and 5. I don't feel like this is a 2-player game. I think some of the strategy involved of flipping the turn order, as well as deciding who to, the different players that you can play a villain card against, it really takes some of the fun out. I don't think this is a good 2-player game, but it is a good 3-player game, and it is a great 4- and 5-player game. So just keep that in mind as you're getting this. If you're looking for just something to play just with one other person, maybe skip this one. But as a group, this is a great game to bring to the table. I personally am going to give it 8 out of 10 meeples. And I will be backing this project myself. It is a good entry point. It's going to be only $9 to back this game at Kickstarter level. If you wait till retail, I believe they said it's going to be something like $15 suggested retail price. So still a good price level to get into this game. If you're interested in it, like I said at the beginning of the video, I'll leave a link down in the description that you can follow to go back this game on Kickstarter. If you have any questions about this game, please leave them down in the comments below, and I'll do my best to answer them as quickly as possible. If you enjoyed this review, give it a good old thumbs up. And if you like what I'm doing, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It would let you know anytime I have a new video coming out. But until next time, game on, my friend.